Patrick Ure is a media analyst at Peel Hunt. Also says closing the tabloid is a typically ruthless and political move by Murdoch. It's not going to stay like that, is it? Do you really think that they're going to leave a gap in the market?
I suspect not. I suspect not. Murdoch is a businessman. He looks at assets. And I think that closing the News of the World down at this stage is politically expedient, but may well leave a gap in the market, as you say, for a new title to come in.
It kind of lances the boil, doesn't it? I'm just wondering what this actually means for the deal with B-Sky-B.
I think News International have been stung by the accusations of being fit and proper. I think they want to assuage the political forces behind the approval of the bid, that they are, in fact, a trustworthy company to own media assets. So this is why this drastic action has been taken, I think.
Interestingly, the B-Sky-B share price is up again this morning. And, of course, it's way above the offer price. What does that tell you?
It tells me that the market sees this obviously in a positive light. They feel that the likelihood of the bid going through has increased, not decreased, after the pressure of the last couple of days. And therefore, you know, they're looking forward to a resolution to this whole affair.
Why is this so key to Murdoch?
If you think about B-Sky-B, it's the UK's largest media company quoted on the market. It has a very strong subscriber base and a very solid set of revenues and cash flows, and that's obviously attractive versus, you know, a newspaper title which is suffering in a market which is in decline.
How much damage has this done to News Corporation's image as a whole?
I think they've tried to stem the damage. Undoubtedly, they have been caught up in the whole hacking affair.
Does it really matter in the longer term?
I suspect that they've done what they feel is right to draw a line under the affair and move on.
The political components to this, it must make your jobs a whole lot harder trying to predict what might happen in the next day, let alone what might happen in the next year.
Harder but more interesting, I'd say.
What's your recommendation? Have you changed that on B-Sky-B?
We're still buyers of the stock. We still feel somewhere between £8.50 and £9 could well be the take-out price for the company. So we haven't really changed our stance.
And what does this tell us, this whole affair and how it's been handled, about Rupert Murdoch? We touched on it on the introduction.
I think it shows a certain sort of ruthlessness. Some might call it a decision-making ability. But I think, as I said at the beginning, he's a businessman. He looks at assets and the value of those assets, and you know, he trades them accordingly.
Is this more of a rebranding exercise, do you think, than a closure exercise of a newspaper?
I think it could well be. There are lots of discussions about whether The Sun, for example, could be extended to run 7 days a week, and that is a possibility.
And what sort of timeline are we talking about here? Where are we now? Where do we expect to go in the next 6 months?
So that's a difficult question. I think, you know, there'll be a period now where the other Sunday titles will benefit, but over the course of 6 to 9 months, I wouldn't be surprised to see another News International title in the Sunday market.
And as far as the bid is concerned, timeline?
I think there's been a lot of consultation responses to the extent that there may well be a sensible pause, which may take us to beyond the summer recess in Parliament.
We shall see. Patrick, you're really good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us on the Move today.